use like more lengthy commands, you can make it very specific. Yeah, right. That is correct.
Your return on accepted password?
What?
Was I supposed to get a return on something on the accepted password? I got nothing.
You didn't get anything?
Yep, nothing.
Nothing.
Everyone else get nothing?
Let's try iSwitch.
Let me cat it real quick.
Because the key should not be.
There's something wrong with web on MacBook.
Just use the case insensitive switch because the key is capital.
Oh yeah, the A is capital and then yeah. So in Linux everything is case sensitive. So if you miss that, it doesn't work. So one thing I want you to notice is, did it work? It worked. Lucas, it worked?
I don't think so.
It didn't?
I think I spelled it wrong. Hold on.
Capital A, yeah. Password, P is lowercase.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's the. There you go. It worked. What about Tyson? It worked.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven, did it work for you?
Checking right now.
Okay. Worked. Worked for you. Okay. So I want you to remember the timestamp here, right? It goes down, but if you take a look at 631, okay, that's the number I want you to remember. And if you go down and take a look at password accepted, the time is also 631, okay? And so it's the same IP, okay? And so a few things to remember here is that for root, it means if you have downloaded Linux machine, that's the root account, they give it to you, right? You type root and then tour or Kali, something. You have a default user and then it's not assigned to anyone. Whenever you see that, you don't know who that user is, who is signing into it, because this account is not attached to an individual. So in a way, it's a default account, right? So remember that. And then, so this is how you know that brute force was successful. And so let's go to the other one. So now let's take a look at adding new user using the logs. So here's the command. Make sure you don't use capital on this one, just user add. And then take a look, and you will see a new user added to that log. And let me know once you have done it.
We got CyberJunkie.
CyberJunkie. Yep. Worked for everyone? So what is the command you would use in Linux to add a new user?
It's like chmod. I forgot to look it up.
Add user. Yeah. So the event is registered as user add, but the command is add user. Right. So if you take a look at it, it was added under home CyberJunkie, right? So this is how you know that looking at the log, brute force was successful. That we saw that. Now the user from the same. Now the new user has been added, and the name is CyberJunkie. Okay, so that's the log that we just saw. Now giving user higher privileges. Let's just use a simple Linux command again and see what sudo access was given to that user CyberJunkie. See, we see two of them here, and then we will talk about what does this mean. It worked for all? Mm-hmm. Okay, so take a look at the first one. CyberJunkie was added to the group sudo. What does that mean?
It means you got put to sudo privilege, I think.
Okay,
CyberJunkie is basically another root.
another root has admin rights to the device, correct? Okay, let's look at the second one. What does adding to the SADO group mean?
It's one of the other groups with sudo access.
But why does that matter? Adding to the SADO group. Why does that matter?
Because
Why is that important?
if you find out that he's in sudo group and then you remove him from sudo group, he might still be in shadow group with sudo privileges.
Okay. Anyone else? What does SADO mean in Linux? Like, there is a specific thing that happens in SADO folder.
No clue.
Anyone else?
I'm searching for it online and it's
Is that
Well, the
one of the
password
groups
purpose?
where you cannot? It's one of the.
If you are not admin, you will not be able to access that folder.
What folder? The sudo?
SADO.
Oh, the
Yeah.
shadow folder?
Sudo as well, but SADO, if you are not admin, you cannot. So SADO folder holds the encrypted key to your passwords.
That's an actual folder in Linux?
Yeah. And so what it does is that if you have keys in it and you have access to that folder, it means, let's say you forgot all the users will have their password encrypted and stored in that folder, right? Now, if you have access to that folder, you can decrypt that and then get access to those things. So that's one thing it does. So that's why the CyberJunkie has been added to sudo, which lets them do so many things, but at the same time, they also have access to the SADO group. Go ahead.
So essentially, like shadow group gonna manage like password for every user, which group doesn't have access to.
Right.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
So is there a way to find the shadow folder?
Yes. We will go through that in the lab again after we're done here. So now, attackers intend to deploy additional tools and malware to further exploitation or persistence. So let's do that command, sudo command, with cat auth grep sudo, and we will see the link that the attacker visited to download something. Okay. And can someone Google this linper.sh? And what is that? And what does that tool do?
Persistent toolkit.
What does that do? Persistent toolkit.
It's for reverse shell.
Is it? It is?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the attacker trying to do with that tool?
Try to maintain hit access.
Persistent.
To get a reverse shell connection.
Yep. So it means they will have access to the machine at any times, correct?
Is that what reverse shell means?
Reverse shell, it means that now the machine will talk back to you, so now you have access to that machine.
So it's just like a connection?
Yeah, so you have a shell or a terminal that you have access to from that machine directly from outside. So that's the reverse shell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially it's open a port
Mm-hmm.
to connect back.
Connect to that machine with pseudo access to that machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's in a way that it has created a link to that machine that you can talk to directly.
So is that the full definition, like reverse shell, you have pseudo access on that computer?
No, he created the pseudo user, right? So he created the user first. Now he can download the tool, log in as CyberJunkie, and now he can use that user and then talk to that machine. Go ahead.
Okay. The connection that it's created that's an SSH.
Yeah,
Okay.
422. And I think it is used throughout the log as well. It's the same. So now let's look into, before I do that, Lucas wanted to see the shadow file.
Thank you.
Do you see the main screen? Okay. Shadow. Do you know where shadow is?
Who you asking?
Everyone.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
I'm guessing it's gonna be in one of the libraries.
It's on under ETC.
Oh wow.
Is it capital or small? Okay, so here's all the. If yeah, so you will see all the shadows here. So if you want to come over here or here, here is shadows. So that's where that is.
So they're a file. They're not an actual directory.
No, yeah, looks like no. I
It's
thought,
a file.
That looks like a file.
is it a file?
Yeah, because the log was saying cat shadow, so I'm guessing that's the file.
So I'm not using root, I'm just using my account and I try to access that and it gives me, I don't have access to that. So, but let's try sudo. There you go. So if I use my password, then we'll be able to open that. And I guess we'll be able to decrypt if we need to. So that's that. Now let's go back to our slide. Prevention, mitigation. So the first thing that we could have done is that to prevent the initial compromise and brute force, we could have enabled MFA for all admin accounts because root was admin accounts, and if that one had the MFA, it would have been stopped there, correct? Strong password policy and account lockout and exponential backoff rate limiting. What does that mean? Do you know? Exponential backoff and rate limiting. Just
That means we like put password in too many times and it just stops and says you need extra verification. Right?
which part? The
I was looking at the strong password policy.
yeah, yeah. So a strong password policy is that if the password is strong. So brute force is if you use Hascat or if you use John the Ripper, you are trying to guess the password, right? And then if the password is long, it takes a long time.
Isn't Hashcat and John the Ripper for like decryption not brute force or?
Yeah, but you can also brute force with them as well. Like a dictionary attack is that like root has a password, right? And so now you are guessing the password. That's what it is. So you were saying something? Okay. Okay. Rate limiting. So we saw in the log that it failed password goes on and on and on, right? Within seconds. So what if we set a policy that after 5 login attempts, you have to wait 15 minutes, right? Or if something like that happens failed password happens within milliseconds or 10 times, so we will lock the account. Then they will not be able to log in. So that's one way to prevent brute force. So again, we go back to root was a default account. They brute forced that and was able to log in. So if we disable default or the account that are not used, we remove them and then we rotate the vendors or default credentials. That also helps. Keeping the system patched, this line works if you are presenting in security and then you want to put that in. Always works. Okay. Limit and control administrative access to prevent root takeover. So disable direct root security login, which they use to log in, and require individual accounts and pseudo and key-based authentication, right? So if it was an individual account, we would also know if, let's say someone was able to sign in, then we would know who that user is. And then let's say I work in help desk, my account was compromised and the attacker used my account to get in, at least they know that my account is compromised, right? And so, so the first thing would be it's either me, or if it's not me doing it, then it's my account, right? So use the list privilege pseudo policies and use privilege elevation control, like time bound and require justification. What is time bound and require justification? Have you used that at work?
Time limit on the control, so you can have access to a certain resource for a set period of time.
Like in the night? Once you leave your work,
Yeah.
you will not have access to that, right? Yeah. Require justification?
Is it
Um,
like, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So somebody need to approve it. To provide why you need the resource, and then like your manager.
You have to provide justification.
Yeah.
It can be you or your manager. So we do that here at work all the time because we provide devices to users, right? And not Windows, but Mac has a button that says I need the admin rights. And so in that you have to provide why do you need it. So that's the justification. And sometimes if the justification is not good enough, you can decline that. It means they will not have access to the admin rights at that moment. And implement privileged access management. What does that mean? Privileged access management. And do you guys know anything about PAM?
It's a system that manages access.
And there are different kind of access management. Role-based access management is one of them. RBAC. What else is there?
ABAC.
What is ABAC?
Attribute-based.
Attribute-based. What does attribute mean? What could it be?
Each user profile
Mhm.
might have some property.
Yeah, right.
Depending on the property.
Yep.
You're gonna have access to a certain resource.
So the user was able to get into root and then create the new account and move on from there, right? How can we prevent that? Lateral movement. The first one is network segmentation. How does that work? Do you know? Who knows network segmentation?
Kind of have idea. Like pivoting, I think it's called, the lateral movement, and then you have to like be in one, you have to have like, because they give you like specific VPN servers to sign in, and only with that VPN server you can sign into certain accounts and access certain stuff. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Right. And so network segmentation, how does that work? Like it's like a classrooms, right? You could have like a whole flat building with no walls, and then you could teach the class, but you segment it so that you have that dedicated place to do it. So network segmentation, you can use routers, switches to segment the network, and then can also be done logically. So what it does is that if, let's say, the attacker gets into this room, will not be able to just move into other freely. So that's what it does. Host level hardening. We did that in CCDC. What did we do? We changed the password. We will update the device. Those are the host label things. And so disable unnecessary services, ports, right? Because fewer, there will be less vulnerability to exploit. Now, prevent malicious download and persistent. How could we have stopped the attacker from downloading tools from GitHub? Egress filtering and web proxy. So what does that mean is that in firewalls, in those tools, we'll be able to have what they called allow listing or block listing, right? Blacklist, whitelist is the same thing. And then the second thing could be done is that restrict common downloading tools, like because that attacker used